After 2 years of honing my Game Maker Studio 2 skills in programming, I'm finally ready to show off my first released game. Okay, so it's not Elden Ring or Animal Well, but nonetheless, it's a project I've grown a bit of a soft spot for. And, I think whenever I get back to the reason that I took on making games as a hobby, it's kind of tied to that feeling of being the god of your own world. It's a bit of a power trip, but that leads to a very specific genre of games. So I'm talking about the ones that try to simulate a world. Think like Minecraft or Terraria, or in my case, Minecraft, was something I thought was super inspiring because it hits that niche of like a self-contained world, with animals and life and death and environments, and it's not like a handcrafted, boxed experience. There's something about that kind of game that tries to fake nature, and specifically Minecraft seemed really doable because it's just super simple. I mean, Notch made it in like a day, so I figured after, enough time I could make something of an equivalent experience. So you draw out your cute little guy, and you give him some code to randomly place rocks around him off screen, and it gives the impression of an infinitely unique, air quotes, world. And it wouldn't be much of a world without plants and animals. So here's how I made the accidental decision to make my game 100% desert themed. Because for my first plant, I chose a cactus, and then after I chose a cactus, I said, well, I have to have a camel, and if you have cactuses and camels walking around, you can't have grass anymore, so it becomes sand, and yada, yada, yada. You throw in some pyramids, it's a desert game. But now, I should try to explain how I tried to make my game feel unique. For this, I was heavily inspired by Minecraft challenge runs, specifically like the 100 Days challenges. I watched ones where, I'm a big fan of Skyblock, but I watched ones about like Super Flat and Nether only. And I thought it was cool how these were still survival games, but they weren't designed that way. No designer sat down and said, how can we design a Nether only experience? It's always designed with, of course, the overworld in mind. But they're interesting because they still work, but they have this tree of advancement, this tech tree in survival games, which were really abstract and non-intuitive. Like, if you look at the 100 Days for, like, Super Flat, for example, you're collecting slime blocks to make a slime block house, and then you're trying to kill as many zombies as you can to collect iron ingots, and then use those ingots to make a cauldron to collect rainwater, and then the rainwater you use to make a lake. So it's just super not intuitive, and to me, I just thought it was really funny, and I said to myself, if I'm gonna make a survival game, why not make my progression system less than obvious? Because I think it is kind of interesting to walk around and you're trying to figure it out for yourself, like it's your first time walking into this world, and figuring things out for the first time. So you hatch out of your egg into a barren wasteland, and now what? Well, you're gonna starve, obviously, if you don't get some food, and what is there to eat around this desert? Cactus berries. And obviously you can't climb a cactus for food, so you slap together some pieces of driftwood and grab your fresh cactus berry. So, good, now that you have a food source, and you're not going to starve tonight, but how are you going to survive the night? Because like all good survival games, when the sun goes down, the sand dunes get filled with ghouls and zombies. So here you have two options. First, this was the first path that I had laid out in my mind. You spend your day painstakingly collecting and planting cactuses to build a spiky wall of death to kill your would-be murderers. I was watching a Minecraft live stream, and I saw that it was before they had weapons, and they guided the zombies to the desert so that they would walk into the cactuses to kill them, and I thought that was a hilarious combat system. And pretty much going forward, everything in my game, when it comes to killing them, involves tricking them into walking into something. Or instead, if you don't want to build, if you're not big on cactus walls, you could use that cactus berry and instead feed it to your camel to gain its trust, and then use your trusty camel to grind down a cactus into green paint, slap that paint on a hunk of wood, and now you've made yourself a foolproof zombie costume. And you can live among the undead for, until the sun comes up and cleanses the desert. Now, while the night has passed, the ghouls likely field-dressed your camel and turned it into either camel skin or a hunk of camel fat. And the skin can be used to make a wall. So early on in my game, I realized, well, I'm not going to have, mining, so I'm not going to be able to, break down rocks or wood into, castles and wood huts or whatever. So instead, I decided to use the leather dropped from animals and use that to turn into like a teepee, like the Native Americans. I always thought it was interesting how they had animal-based structures. So I thought that would be a good twist up. And the fat, if you got fat instead of leather, can be used as a fire starter. If you went the opposite route of instead of doing the mask to hide among the zombies to survive the night, and you instead tried to build a wall shelter of cactuses, well, those zombies that ran into your cactus wall died and dropped rotten flesh. That rotten flesh could then be used to spawn worms, and then the worms could be harvested for their silk. You can use that pile of silk to make a beanbag chair, which is my game's equivalent to a bed. With that, you can rest through the night and save your spawn point for your new cactus house. And at this point, you probably have to wonder if this is all there is in the world, just collecting cactuses and eating rotten flesh. Here's where I gave my game an ending. For a long time, I was just trying to, get the game to function at all, and I was just focusing on a fun setup and then survival of the night. But once that became kind of trivial and easy, well, I have to give the game an ending. So for a long time, I had these pyramids in the game I mentioned earlier, and for these I was inspired by Minecraft beta dungeons, because you have this game with essentially no proof of intelligent life. You're alone in the world, and it's like this infinite nature, but here there are some mysterious implication of lost civilization at some point. So my game does something similar, and we have randomly placed pyramid structures, and of course, what do you put in them? You've got to put in loot, so I put in silver coins and silver ingots. Now, this next part stumped me for a long time, because as I've mentioned before, my character doesn't have a mining mechanic. He can't break blocks. So, if you can't break blocks, then how are you going to get in and out of these structures? My first idea was to just keep in a bug that had happened earlier in the game I noticed. So I noticed that when you got hit by a zombie, if you're close to the walls, during your knockback phase, it would briefly end your collision mechanic, so you could phase through the walls. And I thought that would be interesting if you put a cactus outside of the pyramid and then maybe you planted one in the pyramid and you would try to bounce in and out of the walls with the knockback system. But more often than not, the only use of this was that zombies would hit you near a wall and you would get stuck inside the wall and your game would just end instantly, and it was super not fun. So instead, I decided to add ghosts. Your character can already turn into a ghoul at night, so I thought it'd be interesting if I added a ghost enemy and you could also turn into ghosts. Which is what I did. And how do you kill a ghost? Light. So you use that camel fat campsite you built, and when the ghosts get near, they die and drop ectoplasm. You slap this ghost slime on your face, and now you can walk through walls and get all the silver and coins you want. You have silver. You can take that silver to your fireplace, and you can smelt it to make weapons, and these weapons can be used to defeat the game's final boss. The coins can then be used at various shops that you might find around the world to get some exclusive and otherwise rare and sometimes very bad loot. But after this, I'm going to keep some mystery and not reveal my final boss. That is, by and large, the game as it stands. There are some features I didn't reveal, but that's it. It's my short and sweet survival, hunger, monster, beating a boss game. Now none of this was ever my dream game project or even something that I wanted to make for commercial purposes. It was just a way to get better at making games and to prove I could finally finish a project. So tell me what you think. Is it terrible? Should I never try again? Do you like it? The game is free on itch. There's a link in the description to download it. And other than that, thank you for watching.